Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Monday, April 20th. Yes. And you know what that means. It is time for the High Risk Wrestling Go Recap. I am your host, Jeremy Pierce. You know you can check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. And without further ado, let's get into the news. The WWE made the late decision to drop Carmelo Hayes from the WrestleMania card. It was a dumb decision. As you know, he was the United States champion, and then lost the title to Sami Zayn. And there you go. He was not on the card. We don't know why they decided to do it. I guess they wanted to get to the belt on trick, whatever. AEW is launching Lucha Mask, officially licensed with the NFL. This was an expected partnership, as you know. Tony Khan is part owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, so it just works, and it will be represented. The masks themselves will be for all 32 teams. AEW has announced the dates and location for Forbidden Door. It will be going down, June 28th at the SAP Center in San Jose, California. As you know, Forbidden Door is the annual crossover show that AEW has, and this summer will be featuring not only New Japan but also CMLL and Stardom. But the crazy thing is, this will be going up against TNA's Slammiversary. They will both be airing on the same date. AEW will also be going back to Mexico for a Grand Slam later in the year. We don't have an exact date, but they will be reaching back across the border. AEW Grand Slam last year was an absolutely fantastic show. And sticking with AEW and pay-per-views, it looks like they might be bringing on a new pay-per-view, or it could be a TV special. They have trademarked Redemption. We shall see what that leads to. Paige, aka Soraya Knight, Paige, is officially back in the WWE. She signed a new multi-year deal and returned at WrestleMania 42. Liv Morgan has a new theme. It is the original theme song. Looks like they plan on using it. It is called Trouble. She danced to it at WrestleMania. Josh Barnett has announced that Bloodsport will be going on a brief hiatus after Bloodsport 15 this past weekend. Bloodsport has been an annual part of WrestleMania, for the last 15 years. And it has come out just how much of a foothold that TKO has in the WWE. One asshole head of TKO, Mark Shapiro, stated that not only do they control and have complete control over WWE Creative, they are the ones that are bringing in celebrities because they believe that celebrities can bring in the mainstream fans. They also do not care about alienating the diehard fans that have built up WWE, that has been the supporters, and they understand that this growth strategy could push away some fans. It will not change. Mark Shapiro is also the same man who said Vince McMahon failed by making the WWE affordable for families to attend to. So there you go on that. Mark Shapiro is a piece of shit. On the injury side of things, Santos Escobar says he needs a second surgery. He had surgery before on his triceps, and he needs another one. Wardlow is almost clear to return. As you know, he did film American Gladiators, which debuted this past weekend. Now, in Prince, we have no update on his recovery status. He just will be out. As you know, he had a neck injury. Cody has a black eye and a severe cut after his match with Randy Orton. Nikki Bella could not compete at WrestleMania. Her foot was in a boot. She looks like she will be silent for another 6 to 8 weeks. And other than that, there weren't a lot of injuries coming out of WrestleMania, but that is the news, and we should be right back with the weekend review. All right, you know how we do with the weekend review. We start off with Monday Night Raw. This was the go-home show for WrestleMania. And we start out with Reigns at the ring, and he's like, look, he's giving Punk a chance to tell the truth. It's not 2012 anymore. Fans believe in me, not you, and you better tell the truth or I will. Then we got the contract signing between Brock and Oba. And, Heyman does what he usually does for Brock. Brock signed the contract. Oba signed the contract. And that was it. We got an Astro Speed training montage with the division. And that was all well and good. Then we got our first match, which was Charlotte versus Lyra. And if you saw SmackDown, when it was Bayley versus Alexa, you know how this ends with Lyra getting the W with interference from Bayley. Obvious is obvious. Then we had LA Knight with the Usos being confronted by Solo, the MFTs. Solo noted that Tama Tonga was not there, and LA Knight suggested a 6-man tag match for later on in the evening. Well, Liv and Raquel ended up fighting in the ring because that's what they do. Stephanie attempted to speak, obviously, but Liv blindsided her, so they just fought, and security ended up breaking them apart. Then we had Io, Asuka, and Kairi, and Io said she'll be rooting for Rhea at WrestleMania, while Asuka is still upset with Kairi. Then the Usos and LA Knight took on Solo, Tonga Loa, and JC Mateo. This was a good warm-up for the WrestleMania match, but obviously Knight and the Usos won. Tama Tonga arrived late, which confused Solo Sikoa. Gunther and Seth were in the ring. Seth had blindsided Gunther and demanded Gunther explain why this feud is so personal. Gunther said Seth has annoyed him for years, claiming to be the best. Gunther says he's the best. He calls Seth Heyman's useful idiot for not challenging him sooner, and says Seth can't lace his boots, and they broke out into another fight until Gunther escaped a curb stomped attempt. Okay, that all makes sense here. Then we had just a promo package for the Demon. Io ended up taking on Kairi Sane, and Kairi got the W after Asuka interfered. This was really, really solid. We know what these two can put together. I am always going to want more for these ladies. Then we had Liv's music video, followed by Javon and Dragon Lee taking on Rusev and JD McDonagh, with Dragon Lee and Javon Evans getting the W. But ultimately, Rusev ended up beating up everybody's down after the match, which was really, really solid. Gives them some momentum going to WrestleMania. Then we got our final face-off between Punk and Roman, and Punk really disarmed Roman with his words. Punk said Roman's opening, talking at the beginning of the show was just a smear campaign, and he admitted he hated Roman because he envies his success, his longevity. He also apologized for invoking Sika's name and praised the Anoa'i legacy. While this was going on, he slowly started making his way to the ring. He said he built his legacy off of the Indies and across America, and declared that he will leave WrestleMania as champion. As Roman said, Punk finally spoke the truth until the end. That he hates him too. He said he hates Punk's bond with the fans, and it's unmatched. But Sunday, he will no longer be irrelevant. Over on Dynamite, this was the Dynasty Fallout show, but also Spring Breakthrough. This show gets a thumbs up. Jacob Freeman was here, and Renee told him that AEW management had been trying to reach Max since Dynasty, and she was telling Max that Darby wants his title match, and MJ was like, "Nah, that's not happening." So they make it to the ring, and before I even had Don Callis apologized to MJF about the whole Andrade thing, confused MJF. Renee yelled at, "Yo, you're getting your title match, and it's happened. The title match is happening. It's happening right now." They go to the ring, and Darby tells Max that he's going to get his title match, and it will be going down later in the evening per Tony Khan. Then we were backstage with Kenny and Ospreay. This is from past Sunday, and they lifted each other up, and Omega stood up and said, "Maybe I can't give up. No more cameras, please." We'll see. Maybe this will be the main event for All In. Ciampa took on Desmond Xavier. He got the W here, and he said he is coming for the AEW World Championship, no matter who wins, whether it's Max or Darby. Then, ladies and gentlemen, we had just everything highlighting Darby's whole career coming up at this point, which kind of telegraphed how the main event was going to go. FTR and Stokely were in the ring. Daxter fans are angry because FTR kept winning and called Cope and Christian losers. Declared that they would never get another title shot, and for the benefit of those with flash photography, here is a 10-second, not a 5-second, but a 10-second pose. Kevin Knight took on Claudio Castagnoli. He put his TNT Championship on the line in a solid match. Ultimately, Kevin Knight got the W here. Claudio dominated, but Kevin Knight countered a catapult, hit the UFO splash to get the win. After the match, he cut a promo saying that if he can climb Everest, and he feels great as TNT champion, but also won the Trios Gold the night before. He addressed the Speedball saying, when one door closes, another one opens. Someone's turning bad here, and he promises that he wants the winner of MJF and Darby Allin as well. So let's see what we're doing here. Let's see how we move into a Double or Nothing. Then we got a video package. We had Jericho and Ricochet. I was about to say Swerve. Jericho and Ricochet. And once again, Jericho got his butt beat down by the Demand. It happens. I will see. I'm liking what's going on with Jericho. Collis and was back with Okada and Takeshita, and we will be getting this TNT Championship match International Championship match at Double or Nothing for these two. Ospreay ended up defeating Hechicero in a really good match. I would have much preferred Hechicero to get the W here. Ospreay did not need the win. If you're trying to tell the story that he's hurting, that he's beaten down, he's battered, he's broken, then he should be losing matches. He won here. He got beat down by Mark Davis after the match to just show some vulnerability. Marina Shafir was also watching from the front row. Willow Nightingale said that if Camille wanted a shot, all she had to do was ask that she's going to be the comeback killer and end her comeback. Then we were at Thekla, who was caught up by Alex Windsor. This was a great promo segment. Thekla is just really, really amazing, and Windsor will be getting a championship match on Collision. Then we had the Death Riders backstage, and Mox, look, he says he doesn't enjoy the suffering, but there's a beauty in all of it. He asked Marina how was Ospreay looking at the Dynasty. She said he's rough, but now he's got to go focus on Nick Wayne. Says this is adult stuff, so please leave mommy at home. Willow Nightingale put her TNT Championship on the line against her TBS Championship, on the line against Camille. And Willow wasn't clear for Dynasty, making this defense really, really risky. Camille targeted Willow's injured arm and shoulder, but ultimately Willow got the W with another backslide. She's been winning matches with the backslide. Camille was angry after this. She controlled most of the match, but Willow was too much for her. She instead announced that they would team up on Collision. She said she's not ready. She just said she's ready to remind the division who they are. Stat added that they're focused united, and Mina Shirakawa was not really happy about this. Sting pumped up his boy Darby, and we moved to the main event. Darby entered, then MJF, who had the ring taken from him, immediately went for a low blow. Darby low blowed him back. Scorpion Death drop, 4 cauldron drops, i.e. the 4 pillars. Headlock takeover, 1, 2, 3. We have a new world champion. This was very, very good, very, very fun, very, very emotional. This was the biggest story coming out of WrestleMania week. We move over to Collision. This aired on Thursday, just because WrestleMania. This was also the Dynasty Fallout show and Spring Breakthrough. Cope, FTR. Look, they're not done. They're not done. He promised that they won't walk away and they will finish off FTR. Of course, Roppongi Vice ended up attacking Cope and Christian until the Bucks made the save. Jack Perry laid down the challenge to the Don Callis family. He did take down Mark Davis at the pay-per-view. Our first match of the evening was the Young Bucks versus the Rascalz. This was Zach Wentz and Myron Reed teaming up together, and this was really, really good. This was solid. The Rascalz got really a lot of offense and time to shine. Ultimately, Bucks won with the TK driver. After the match, the Dogs, Dave Finley and Clark Connors attacked and said they're coming for the tag team championship, while their third member, Gabe Kidd, is out on injury. The Divine Dominion gave credit to Heian and Maya World, but no one can stop them. Who can go against the Divine Dominion? The conglomeration trios eliminator match took on the Lethal Twist. Jay Lethal, Lee Johnson, and Blake Christian. Really solid match, but of course, Lee Johnson tapped. I'll give the conglomeration a W here, but this got a lot of time. And pairing up Lee Johnson and Blake Christian with Jay Lethal has worked out wonders for them. Shibata was filming Hook, and Bones will know is he in or is he out. Hook will said he'll let him know next week. Stat and Shida won a quick squash match, defeating Big Ann and Danica Della. John Moxley took on Nick Wayne, Continental Championship Eliminator match. Nick acquitted himself well, and Mox has some respect for the young man, but ultimately Mox got the W with the Death Rider. And we were once again backstage with Okada and Don Callis, and Lexi Nair said, listen, what's going on? And Okada said he'll take the match at Double or Nothing. He will take the match. Pac took on Leo Rush. I don't know what's going on with Leo Rush. Man is slowly turning to golden, but Pac got the W with the brutalizer as Leo Rush passed out. We got a video package celebrating Bandito, showing his role as Ring of Honor champion. Brody King, Mysterio, Mascara Dorada took on a team of Ricky Gibson, Casey Riff, and Cobra Verde. This was a quick match as the established members got the win. Shida and Stat celebrated the win backstage. Mina confronted Shida, saying she doesn't trust her after the Tony Storm incident. Mina represent. Lord, ladies, I am tired and high. Shida noted the kendo stick, and that's Marina Shirakawa. What's going on about she doesn't trust Shida. We got a recap of Darby World's title win in the main event. Thekla put the Women's World Championship on the line against Alex Windsor, and this was a solid match. Windsor really battled through, but ultimately Thekla got the W, retaining the championship after the running curb stomp. She had used the brass knuckles to sneak out that W. Over on Impact, Ali is alive. She has returned from the undead realm. Nick Nemeth stumbled to commentary for the opener, which was Casey Navarro versus AJ Francis. Solid match. Looks like Casey was getting revenge on being kicked out of First Class, and he ultimately got the W, rolling up AJ Francis for the upset win. We got an EC3 message. He said he carried the company through dark times before leaving. Now he's back and he's just going to deal with Eric Young, calling a fitting way to restart his journey. We were in the ring with the System, and they bragged about winning the tag titles at Rebellion. Eddie Edwards blamed Moose for not becoming world champion, and Alicia mocked Moose for being stupid enough to trust her. Like, we all knew she was going to turn on Moose. Cedric demanded an X Division title shot. Leon Slater interrupted, and Daria Ray set up a 4-on-2 handicap match for later in the evening. Elijah demanded a rematch for Frankie Kazarian. Ray called Kazarian, who immediately refused. Ray ended the call with an argument. Elijah looked frustrated. Okay. Tasha Steelz took on Jada Stone, and Jada Stone got the win in a stunning upset. She won with the Spark Stunner. Ali's distraction failed as the referee ejected Order 4. We were in the undead realm for this part. And Rosemary found Joseph Park, who hugged her and promised to work on something. Tessa fought through the realm looking for an exit, while Rosemary briefly clashed with Tessa. Tessa ran off, and Ali and Mara Shade wandered through the teleporting figures. We will see what's going on a little bit later. Nick Nemeth was with Casey Navarro, and he congratulated him on his win, challenged Bear Bronson anytime, anywhere, and Navarro was fired up. Mike Santana in the ring called out Rich Swann, and so he wants Rich Swann. You can get a title shot. Just let us know. And Swann was very confident that he will win. Lately talked about falling in love with wrestling and bonding with Zaya Brookside, and she said she doesn't understand why Brookside abandoned her. Zaya refused to comment. We're also she's going to join the Birthright over in NXT. We shall see. EC3 took on Eric Young, and this went to a no contest as EC3 immediately ran over the ref. They fought. EC3 and Eric Young fought. Eric Young ended up attacking EC3 some more until EC3 got the better of him and escaped. We were back at the Undead Realm, which ultimately had Rosemary meet a masked man named Frank holding an axe and allowing Ali to get out of the Undead Realm after Rosemary got into it with Father James Mitchell. He ultimately helped her out. And Tessa Lamore and Victoria Crawford finally crawled up from the Undead Realm and stood face to face with Mara, Rosemary, and Ali. The Hardys vowed vengeance on the Righteous after costing them the tag team champions, and Matt Hardy's hinting at an awakening, and Jeff nodded in agreement. Someone must be deleted. The System took on Moose, Leon Slater, in a 4-on-2 handicap match. Obviously, you knew how this was going to go. The System won after Moose excellently wiped a security guard, allowing Cedric Alexander to roll him up for the win after the lumbar check. Over on SmackDown, this was the WrestleMania Go Home show. And look, the less said about this show, the better. We had Orton and McAfee rehash everything that went down the week before. Opening contest was the Wyatt Six taking on the MFTs in a street fight, and shockingly, surprisingly, the MFTs won. Tama Tonga was going for the W, but ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, Solo Sikoa stole the win. We had R-Truth and Damian Priest shenanigans, and Truth said the titles are on the line against the New Day. Okay. We had a video of Miz and Maurice's wedding vow renewal, which was interrupted by Danhausen, and a nice solid comedy segment when Maurice followed some cake. Maurice has always been a trooper. We got a Royce Keys package, which means he's obviously going to win something later on tonight. Jacob Fatu arrived in a police car and said, listen, if Drew McIntyre wants the old Jacob Fatu, the one that got locked up, then you're going to get that. We were backstage with Alexa and Charlotte, and they are frustrated, but there's some tension simmering between the two. Damian Priest and R-Truth put the tag titles on the line against Kofi and Grayson Waller. Solid match, but ultimately, of course, Priest and Truth won here. Jade and Rhea faced off. Ripley interrupted, Jade and her crew, saying she wanted to speak before Cargo wasted everyone's time, and she accused Cargo of being scared and about to embarrass her at WrestleMania. Beef and Michi both fired back, and Ripley said your insecurities made her a champion, but called Cargo a narcissistic fake ass bitch. We were with Solo and the MFT. Solo told the MFT that they won because they acted as a team, and Tama Tonga didn't look convinced. Solo wanted to know what's going on. And so it said, listen, we all need to support. Let's support Tama Tonga, who's in the Battle Royal. Jordan Grace took on Tiffany Stratton in the United States Championship Network Contenders match. Good match, fun match, but Tiffany Stratton ultimately won the match here. This was originally supposed to be Tiffany Stratton versus Joya, but WWE doesn't care about Joya. Sami Zayn was in the ring with a gingerbread man. I don't know what was going on. I went to sleep during this because this was just weird and dumb, but ultimately ended with Sami Zayn giving the gingerbread mascot a haluva kick. Charlotte and Alexa took on Bayley and Lyra. This match went to a no contest because Lash and Nia just attacked everybody. We had the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Participants were included Asta Black, Motor City Machine Guns, Johnny Gargano, Kit Wilson, La Parka, Matt Cardona, and the eventual winner, Royce Keys. We had Shallow Hill from NXT was here, so maybe that his official call up. There was no Carmelo Hayes, but Again, Royce Keys won as the final four was over to Tala Tonga, Aleister Black, and Royce Keys. In the main event segment, this was a really weird segment between Cody and Punk. It felt like an apology to the fans for whatever's going to happen at WrestleMania. I don't really know how to describe this. They say no matter what happens this weekend, they'll both be back Monday to start the next chapter of their careers. Our matches of the week, ladies and gentlemen, from Dynamite, Will Ospreay versus Hechicero. Of course, even though it was a short match, the amazingness of it all. Darby Allin, MJF for the AEW Men's World Championship. From a collision, the Young Bucks versus the Rascalz. John Moxley and Nick Wayne in a Continental Championship Eliminator. From Bloodsport, go watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Nattie and Shayna Baszler, just greatness. From WrestleMania, Gunther versus Seth Rollins, the six-way ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship, and Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. Stars of the week: Darby Allin, Rhea Ripley, Roman Reigns, Liv Morgan, Trick Williams, all for winning championships. But that is our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Check out the socials. Look at the screen we got coming up. Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube. Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course 215 on Twitter. I see you when I see you. Peace.